Hey everybody, welcome back to Backlog Band. Jeremy Boy Abram, joined in person, strangely here by Mr. Tanner Dykstra. This is maybe the first YouTube video that we've done where it's me and you in person and Tucker remotely. Is that true?
There's got to have been another one. There was a movie review or something
in this set of yours, but I think we've certainly done a review of some sort where it's you, me together, Tucker coming in over the wire.
Yeah,
go check the someone go check the esoteric documents. Go check the literature.
Go check the ancient text.
Go look in the back end of all the metadata of every BLB video and figure that out.
Ask Grok.
Oh, I see.
Does Grok know about BLB?
I don't want to.
Presumably,
I remember once asking ChatGPT about BLB, and
is that true? Oh.
Yeah, I had to kind of like lead it along, trying to tell it what it was. You know, it was sort of like I was the Akinator in that situation.
Whoa, that's crazy.
You can't bring a horse to water, but you can bring the ChatGPT to BLB.
That's true, and that water will be used to power the AI servers to answer our questions.
That's true. The rainforest will be burnt down in the process. It's equal exchange.
Hey, Abram, what's this video about?
Today, folks, we have Tanner in the studio in the satellite location because we want to talk about video games in 2025. And
I heard about that.
Tanner, you're wearing it's hidden.
I'm the only
one.
I was kind of hoping that Tucker wouldn't be wearing a video game shirt because I could come out as the one true gamer amongst us, but no.
You got the.
I could do the old turnaround.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You could take your clothes off.
Do one of these.
Video.
Yeah.
Does it say anything on the back? No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm not wearing a video game shirt anymore.
Yeah.
So you are, I would say, the archetypal mainstream game player.
I would say so. I pretty much exclusively play AAA titles.
Play AAA titles. You play sports games. You got a PS5. You're not paying too close attention.
No.
But you're not like playing one video game every year.
Not really.
You're playing a couple.
I try to tap in more than that.
One and a half.
Yeah, maybe two.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to sit down with Tanner and talk to him about the games that are in the cultural zeitgeist of gaming in 2025 and figure out which of them mean anything to you.
Okay.
Not to insult your intelligence, but to use you as a litmus test for the average person.
Okay.
Because obviously we talk to people in the in-group. And you are somebody with a good enough understanding of games that I'm curious if the various games, news stories, things like that have defined the year mean anything to you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Now, the somewhat unfortunate thing is that this is a tainted survey.
It is.
A tainted experiment. Because you also happen to know both of us.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we are, of the limited people you know and interact with on a very consistent basis, two of the most dominant forces in your lives. And we know just about everything there is with video games.
Yeah.
So, but really what we're testing is your listening ability.
Wow. You know,
and how much BLB you watch.
I'm also somewhat engaged in our Discord server, link in the description.
That's true. That is a good point.
So let me go first, Tucker, because I want to throw out one here. I want to toss you right in the deep end of the pool, Tanner.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're going for.
What does the name Umumusume mean to you?
Abram, not a lick.
Let me give you a subtitle.
Okay.
Let me give you a subtitle. Umumusume Pretty Derby.
Pretty Derby. No, do you want me to take a guess? Because I have no clue. I've never heard any of those words. I'm the first person in my bloodline to hear those words in that order.
To hear the word pretty.
In Derby.
Let me pull this up for you.
No, there's a lot of Derby that goes in the Dykstra family lineage.
Umumusume Pretty Derby.
Oh, okay. So this is a sort of anime.
You didn't ask him what he was first.
That's all right.
Well, actually, it won't be helpful.
Oh
I'll
dear.
show him the picture.
Are we?
Look at this picture. What do you think? What do you think about this? It's just the key art for the game here.
Are we racing these women? Are these sort of anthropomorphized racing horses in the form of anime waifu girls?
Yes.
You'd be correct.
Okay, I'm mostly making it out from the ears on everybody here. I'm seeing they have ears.
Okay, so Umumusume...
As opposed to normal women.
Yeah. Tucker, precisely.
I'm just taking Tanner on my second monitor here. This is just the Steam page. He's just looking at some gameplay right now.
Yeah.
Umumusume.
Okay, so they're also doing some singing. No, is this one of like the highest selling games of this year? Is this why you're asking me about this?
Tucker, how would you I mean, this is also for my benefit too. How would you describe the popularity of Umumusume?
Well, I would say, because it only released like 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's just still pretty new.
Yeah, okay. June 24th, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, not even a month ago. And it also took, I would say, probably a little over a week for it to sort of gain prominence. So we're really we're at the start of this game's rise to fame.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest game on streaming right now.
Really?
Yeah. by a not a significant margin, but like in terms of like skyrocketing the popularity, this is what all the biggest streamers are putting a ton of time into. And this is the thing that I find most hilarious about Umumusume Pretty Derby is that all of the titles of the videos of these streamers are like, I thought it wouldn't care, but then I got addicted to it, and it's the fucking craziest thing I ever played. I love it. And it's actually something I still have not played.
Okay.
But my friend Isaac came over to my house the other day, and he said he's been playing nothing but Umumusume Pretty Derby. And he's like, yeah, no, it's just a really good game.
Yeah, okay.
And he got my brother to download it on his phone, and he said he was going to teach me. We have not gone through that process yet. It'll probably happen in the next few days. But yeah, it is really skyrocketed popularity. And the thing that confuses me most about it is not the anime part. Frankly, that's the part that makes the most sense.
It's actually based on a real anime.
Okay,
that is true.
All right.
But is that during the races you don't do anything?
What? Yeah. I thought that would be... Okay, now I assume that would be the main part of the game.
It's not not like Forza or Gran Turismo. It's not a race. I mean, it is a race.
They run the races on their own.
Okay, so there's not even like
auto.
There's no input. I imagine maybe it would be like a DDR situation, or at least like a button mashing of some kind.
You have no way to intervene.
Okay.
You basically have to socialize with them and train them outside of the races, and then you're like,
I see.
Go have fun.
So it's more. It's like an RPG.
You unleash them.
You're basically like the coach of these horse girls.
Okay.
And you are leading them through like life as teenagers.
It's ostensibly a management sim, a sports management sim.
Okay.
It's like if you're doing a Madden or a 2K thing where you like run a sports team, but you don't have any input on the games, which I actually think is something you can do.
Yeah, you can simulate games. Yeah, in NBA, in Madden, stuff like that. You can
and so,
those.
Frankly, this is that, but with anime horse girls.
All right, yeah, okay. I guess I can see the appeal there.
Well, see, here's my problem. I really can't.
Okay.
Because I just don't. Because
I don't get it either.
The way this game got popular is Northern Line started playing it. That was like when the dam. That's like when the dam broke.
Okay.
And then everybody started playing it after Northern Line started playing it.
Northern Line really is kind of like the gate between the normies and like the more tapped in gamers, I feel.
Yeah, because he's
just a dad.
He's got a discerning taste in a way that he's very derisive towards a lot of games and types of games.
True.
So him playing this was like, they got
okay, all right. They won one over.
Yeah, and that was a domino that fell. But like you just watch him run, and then sometimes they'll activate like swinging a maestro, and they'll get like a boost of speed, and they'll get the first place.
Okay.
And you just keep like training them and passing. You pass one girl off, you pick up the next one with better stats. You take them to school. It's like Persona for a lot of the game.
Okay. So yeah, this is where I was trying to say it was like an RPG sort of situation coming in. Okay.
It sort of is.
Yeah, but there's no battles, and there's no like, as far as I know, like map. I think it's just like a menu.
Oh,
it's RPG like in the sense that there's stats that you raise for these young women.
I should have played this before we talked about this, so I'd actually be able to know what I'm talking about.
I think the other games we're going to talk about, we have played between the two.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, we're a good proportion way into the video. If someone clicks off because there's air conditioning noise in the background, go with God. It's so fucking hot in this room. We're gonna have to do.
I was watching a single beat of sweat drip down Tanner's brow.
We'll have to do maybe a little denoise in the post production, but we're gonna put the fucking air conditioner in the room. Go with God if you have to leave.
We'll have a beat of silence somewhere so we can single that out.
Also, frankly, if the 4 minutes of horseshit at the beginning of this video before we introduce the topic didn't kill you, you're in.
You're in.
And also, let's be honest. This is not a great idea for a video.
It's an idea for a video.
That doesn't mean it's not fun, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not fun.
Of course.
But let me tell you, this is not getting 10,000 Randy Pitchford views.
Oh, no. You don't think so?
Tucker, why don't you throw either another game or news headline or something?
Oh, a news headline. Oh, interesting. News headline's an interesting pull because I don't really know if Tanner has much context.
I don't even have a news headline to mind.
As far as I know, the biggest conversation in video game news this year, from following both of you gentlemen on various social media platforms and saying somewhat tapped into the gaming side of our Discord server, is the various layoffs across various development teams.
That's certainly true.
Okay.
That is true.
Let me. You keep thinking, Tucker. I'm going to throw out another game. Here.
Okay.
A studio that encountered a lot of layoffs. Build a Rocket Boy.
Build a Rocket Boy.
That's his studio's name.
Okay.
The game's name is Mind's Eye. Are you familiar with Mind's Eye?
I mean, that's such a generalized term that
it's not a good name.
Is the cover of the game kind of like purple?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I'm probably not thinking. I'm probably not know. Search it up on Steam here. Let me see Mind's Eye.
Well, no, they're actually
Mind's Eye.
You know this?
You
one?
don't know.
Okay, so this is made by a guy who made GTA.
Yeah,
one of the original.
He was a founder, Rockstar. Right?
Okay,
I think Leslie Benzies.
No, he was lead producer on GTA 3 through 5.
Okay, all right. So
including San Andreas.
Here's what I know about Mind's Eye. It was made by one of these guys. It's sort of an open world sci-fi action game shooter, third person.
Yeah.
And it was a complete flop, sort of akin to a Cyberpunk 2077 level flop, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's true and untrue because Cyberpunk still sold a fuck ton of copies.
I see. Okay.
And Cyberpunk was a success. Yeah. And like if you factor everything in, that was a successful game for CD Projekt Red.
Mm-hmm.
Easily, yeah. I mean, that game sold something like 7 million copies in like the first month, even when it was broken.
Yeah. That game is massive. This game has basically killed Build a Rocket Boy.
Okay. No, is this a studio that had notable titles before this, or was this
their first game?
Oh wow. Okay.
And now, Tucker, here's my question for you.
It's not looking good for them.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Here's my question for you.
Do we get into everywhere with him?
When this game is on sale for $15, are you going to play it all the way through?
No, but I'll buy it.
You'll buy it. All right.
Yeah, this, Tanner, I would consider this the Lord of the Ring Gollum of 2025, which means this game is so legendarily terrible from what I know and broken that I would buy a copy for Joe as a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those. But no, it's a GTA clone. Yep. It's a futuristic sort of open world action game, cars, guns, all that stuff, and it's just apparently just bad from like every angle.
Okay,
and it's really not much more complicated than that. Is this team got a lot of funding because they had a big name guy behind it, and that money went to something that was just an abject failure. Seems like from almost every level.
And also the guy, the management at the top of Build a Rocket Boy was leaving before the game came out. And the people who remained were peddling this theory that internal and external quote unquote saboteurs were responsible for the game being received poorly.
Oh, okay. Meaning that like
that it was that's like it's like an inside job that it's.
I see. So there was a theory that people inside the studio wanted the game to fail for reasons.
It's not clear.
Okay,
it's just that the saboteurs might be there, and that there were also outside actors paid money to dislike the game.
I see. Okay. Because I also know that this game, was panned as well.
Yeah, because it didn't really function right.
Well, fair.
Yeah,
and
let's actually hold on. Let's get the Mind's Eye Metacritic.
I'm gonna say 37.
Tanner?
I mean, I don't go to Metacritic very often, if at all, and I know that it's a little...
Let me tell you, this is the reddest Metacritic.
Wow. Okay, then I'm gonna go. Abrams said 37. I'm gonna go like a 22.
37 is actually exactly correct.
Wow. All right.
With a 2.4 for user ratings, though actually only 14 critic reviews. That's not a lot.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm curious about with Mind's Eye is because obviously the game, from reading reviews of it that took it seriously beyond it sort of being a joke, which it sort of became a bit of a joke.
I will tell you, 86315 gave it a 10.
Oh, that's the username?
Yep.
No,
or it should say IGN or Guardian. It says 863i5.
Okay.
What I'm curious about with Mind's Eye is obviously it was panned for a lot of technical failings, but also issues more intrinsic to the game. Like Cyberpunk had it at launch. Mechanically, it became a much different game. But really, the issues with it on console that it didn't run right, because the PC reviews for Cyberpunk were very high when it launched. I don't think Mind's Eye is a similar situation wherein even if they fix the technical aspects of it, the game is going to be quote unquote saved.
I think the long and short of it is this. When you first asked me about it, I was like, oh yeah, that name sounds familiar, but I had no recollection. I had no name association with it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw, the key art and everything like that, I was like, oh yeah, that flash in the pan thing that people talked about for, in my circles anyway, about 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And then completely went by the wayside.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Tucker. I'm looking at the Steam page for it right now. Leslie Benzies is name dropped in the Steam description. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think maybe Kojima puts his name in there.
Yeah, maybe Kojima.
But featuring best-in-class cinematics, high-octane driving, and explosive combat from game director Leslie Benzies.
He directed the game? I thought he was just a producer.
It's at least with the Steam.
Or are they saying that he is a game director?
And this is something that he worked on in some way.
This comes from game director Leslie Benzies. Not for Mind's Eye, but he is a game director for other games.
Yes.
Credits of Mind's Eye on Moby Games. Credit game director Leslie Benzies.
Well, there you go.
All right. My bad, Leslie. And this is... well, congratulations, Leslie. This is the first game he's directed.
Well, howdy.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, actually, never mind.
Huh?
Director of GTA Online. That is a big
game.
That's
huge. Okay.
Well, because they were supposed... And Tucker, it dawned on me like a minute and a half later what you meant by everything. There was going to be an online component, like persistent build anything type of mode for this game. And like, what did you say, Tucker?
No. This was supposed to be a mode for another game.
Wait, sorry. Mine's supposed to be a mode for this game, everything?
Everywhere. Yes. So there's this game. It's like a platform. It's like Roblox.
But it's canceled,
like this,
right?
It's probably not going to happen, but I don't think it's official.
Yeah.
This thing called Everywhere that was just going to be like a platform for people to create games, kind of like GTA Online. You make race tracks and you can
death matches, etc.
Yeah. You just build little maps and mini games and stuff, kind of a Gary's Mod style thing. And this was going to be their major thing, and Mind's Eye was going to be a campaign component within this game.
Okay.
Everywhere, and then they just they sort of just like did a little dissection of Mind's Eye out and released that on its own. Yeah, and they're like, we'll just put it on disc and sell it.
Okay.
And also there's another layer to this, which is very interesting that is relevant to you, Tanner.
Oh.
This is the first video game published by IO Interactive. They created the creators of Hitman.
Oh, okay.
The development team behind Hitman.
Yes.
They created a publishing side.
Oh, okay.
And because they used to be part of Square Enix making the Hitman games. And then they became their own. Square just like sold them. They got out, and then they're like, fine, we're gonna start publishing our own stuff. They will be publishing James Bond. They'll publish any future games.
Okay.
But they also decided to help out and publish a little game called Mind's Eye.
I see. So this wasn't developed by IO Interactive.
No. Okay. But I'm sure they lost a lot of money on it.
Okay, fair enough.
But that just is a very bad sign for them. And Godspeed to the James Bond game. Hopefully that saves their asses.
Well, I'm sure IO's making that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's their next big game.
Tucker, do you have one you want to throw out here?
Yeah. Well, was there... I mean, you look like you were about to read something. Was there one final thing about Mind's Eye?
Yeah, I wanted to read this here from the Wikipedia page. Sorry to interrupt, but your gifts help Wikipedia stay free from paywalls and ads. Please donate to
really?
75.
Oh, exciting.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. A game that I know that you are familiar with for the first time on this episode. A game that I know you know, and I don't know if you've played it yet. And I'm curious what you know about the reception to Mario Kart World.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new Mario Kart game out.
Yeah, there is.
Comes alongside
the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Tucker, I was going to ask the same one.
Oh, congratulations. Look at this. Tanner.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Mario Kart World.
Okay, so Mario Kart World
was
a launch title with the Nintendo Switch 2, the only launch title.
Ostensibly.
Okay.
There were others, but it was the only one of consequence.
Sure.
Ostensibly.
The big hook, of course, was that it has open world modes.
Yeah.
Where you basically drive between tracks. I've heard ostensibly nothing about this game. I know that people played it. I've seen some clips of streamers, etc., playing the game from a couple months back when the Switch first launched. But it's not become, I guess maybe because nobody in my close circle of friends. I don't own a Nintendo Switch too. I didn't own a Nintendo Switch either. But nobody I know does as well. Oh, I know you guys have them, but like playing Mario Kart 8 or whatever was like a pretty regular activity whenever we had a hangout.
Yeah, we don't live together anymore. It would be very different if we were also living together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I haven't played Mario Kart World. I assume people like this game?
Tucker, how'd you answer that question?
I think that's correct.
Okay.
I think that there are design choices in the game that people who are really hardcore about it are really, really annoyed about.
Okay.
And are pretending like it's a complete failure of a game.
Okay.
When the reality is this game has sold probably 6 million copies already, and I think 90% of the people playing it think it's a blast.
Sure. Okay.
So the reason I was gonna ask you more broadly just about the Switch 2.
Okay.
The reason I was gonna do it, but I think Mario Kart's a good way to put it, because there was this article that went up on Polygon like a week or two ago that stirred up a bunch of conversation, because the premise of the article, the headline was something like, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been a huge success, which it has been in terms of its launch. But where's the conversation about it?
Okay.
And what I was curious about is, for you just living out in the world, being on TikTok in particular, if this game has penetrated sort of a mainstream TikTok algorithm.
No.
Now here's a follow-up question for you. Has Tomodachi Life entered your TikTok algorithm at all? Little me's like singing songs or like fucking around.
Maybe slightly, but not in any way more so than Mario Kart World would have.
Well, actually, I think this does extrapolate a question.
Yeah.
Which games this year have you seen a lot of on TikTok and YouTube Shorts? And
that's that fucking Dev Dive follow-up fucking skill perk right there.
One, namely, probably more than anything else. Maybe I just have a short-term memory here. Date Everything. Date Everything has had huge impact on TikTok. I mean, rankings of like the hottest love interests, gameplay, amazing. People making jokes, meme videos about Date Everything, streamer clips, everything. Basically every way that you imagine someone might interact with and make content about Date Everything, I've seen.
Yeah, okay. So this is a really interesting one.
Sustained for a couple of weeks. Like, when did that game come out? It feels maybe a month ago.
A month ago.
Okay.
Less than a month ago.
Yeah, it has continued to be a presence in my For You page.
That's interesting, because I was on the eShop the other day and I saw that Date Everything was conspicuously high. It was like 7th on the eShop or something. Okay. And there's some guys on my Blue Sky feed who are like obsessed with Blue Sky and end up aggregating, or obsessed with Date Everything, and end up aggregating a bunch of like tier lists people are making, skits people are making, and even in my algorithm, I've gotten the random skit of people in real life being like, after you date, I'm bringing home over a girl who plays Date Everything, and it's like hiding the fucking.
They're trying to fuck my fridge or whatever.
Yeah. It's not my time. Let me pull a little Spike Lee after Green Book wins.
Sure.
After Green Book wins Best Picture. It's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
All right.
Have you played it?
No, I'm not.
Tucker, have you played it?
Here's the fascinating thing, Tanner.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone talk about this game.
Really?
I've never seen a clip of it.
Whoa.
I've never seen a ranking.
Whoa.
The only thing I know is that Seth said he bought it,
yes.
which was a shock to me. I think I maybe saw a trailer 2 years ago.
Sure.
This seems to be a game that is, and this is not a slight against this, but seems to only be succeeding with the casual market and not with the quote-unquote in-group games journalist types, people joining video game-based Discord servers, because I know nothing about this game.
Wow.
And I find that dichotomy very, very fascinating.
Yeah, and I have a colleague of mine, Grace Benfeld. She wrote a really, really good piece for a site called Endless Mode about how, in her view, Date Everything is like millennial slop.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's. I'd say like people are. I see a lot of Gen Z people interacting with this game as well. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so that's because my broader point with that is that was getting a lot of amplification among people I know, the circles I'm in. Mm-hmm. It's not a game that is thought of in a particularly prestigious light, I would say.
Okay.
In the circles I travel in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very interesting that is, of all the games this year, would be the one that dominates.
I mean, I would maybe have to look at a list of major games released so far this year, but especially in recent memory, Date Everything is just kind of overwhelming me. I am shocked that this isn't like a bigger thing in gaming circles.
This is a great revelation here.
This is the exact thing that this video is for. Now, Keaton.
Oh, we're bringing Keaton in. Okay.
Keaton, I am recording with Tanner and Abram right now. We have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. You can come in the frame if you'd like. So we're talking to Tanner about what he knows about... You're not quite in the frame yet. I'll tilt it up a little bit.
That's right. There you go.
We're talking to Tanner about the games that he has been familiar with this year as someone who does not play a lot of games. You do play quite a bit of games, but you're outside of the circles that's kind of Abram and I operate in. When you watch TikTok, when you watch YouTube Shorts and Instagram and things, what video games that, from your knowledge, came out this year do you see the most people talking about? Like, what games have shown up the most?
This year?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Peak.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen, what was the other one with the little, like Mighty Bean looking characters that open up that was like a horror game?
Oh, Repo. Yeah.
A lot of Repo.
Yeah. Mighty Bean is a good pull for that. That's funny.
I don't remember the name. I don't know. Other than like the big names that have been like across everything, like even YouTube and all that. I don't.
Are those the two, or what do you mean? What are the other things? Like
no,
you like Call of Duty
stuff
or
like that, like
Fortnite?
stuff I feel like everybody would have seen. I don't know on TikTok and things like that. Those are the ones I see the most of.
Okay,
all right,
sure.
I would say
ask him about Date Everything before he leaves.
Have you heard of the game Date Everything?
I've heard of it. That's one where I've seen a trend about the game, but I haven't seen anything of the game. I've never seen any gameplay or anything like that, but I've seen people post a picture of them walking through their kitchen saying they're going to date there.
This is exactly
fair enough. Okay, interesting.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. Good information. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Well, he gave us a couple of games to talk about, Tanner, which is, I would say, the dominant trend of video game this year. I look short now that it. Yeah.
Little bit, okay.
And God forbid I look short.
God, yeah,
the trend of this year of friend slop games.
Yes, this year was the first time I became familiar. I think it was probably the first. The term was also incepted this year. Friend slop, yeah. And
to your knowledge, which games count as friend slop?
Peak is definitely one. Repo. What was the one where you were like two like hazmat suit looking dudes going around and one of you has like a camcorder? I remember you playing it with some people.
You're combining two games, which is fair enough because they're very similar. Which is Content Warning, which is the camera one, and Lethal Company, which is the hazmat suit one. But they're basically the same.
Yeah.
And they're also basically the same game as Repo.
Have you heard of Schedule 1?
In name only.
Okay.
I mean, because that's just like a term.
Sure, fair enough.
You might have heard someone say Schedule 1 for something out, like maybe like drugs.
I have definitely seen gameplay of Peak, one that Keaton just mentioned.
Okay. Well, let's focus in on Peak then.
A lot of, I don't know. It's basically one creator, and I'm sorry I can't remember their names right now, but he sort of does a strapping like British accent with this character that he's created in Peak, who sort of looks like Pym from Smiling Friends is what the characters kind of look like. He named his character like his character's name's like John Adventure or something like that.
Cosmonaut. Who's that guy with the yellow mascot?
But yeah, he basically has this like strapping British guy persona, and goes around is like, it's all right, I can help you out here, old chap, I'll help you up this hill here, and then that is sort of I see compilations of this creator's content within within Peak, I would say.
Okay, all right,
This is
good to
what I'm
know.
thinking of. But I can picture the guy you're thinking of. He's got like a little. Maybe I'm picturing his Fine Friends character. I don't know.
Maybe.
Now here's my confession for you here.
Okay.
I have no fucking idea what Peak is.
You don't know what Peak is. Okay.
Oh,
I know broadly that it's like a co-op climbing game.
Yeah, and it sort of incorporate. I know it also incorporates like what do you call it when like localized voice chat, basically
Proximity
chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
As a sidebar, probably the biggest proximity chat game in the series is called Midnight Murder Club. Have you heard of it?
That's not true. Don't
I can say that I've not heard of Midnight Murder Club.
That's a game that maxed out at like 25 players.
It's a PlayStation game.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah. I don't know I know more about the people who made Peak.
Okay.
Maybe by a very small team.
Yeah, you keep talking. I'm gonna turn the volume up on my phone. I'm gonna look up on TikTok Peak and see if I can find the name of this YouTuber.
Yeah, put the volume all up and actually just lift your phone over the microphone while
Okay. Peak funny moments. I'm sure it's.
He said you can turn it all the way off.
Oh. It's I think it's former Rooster Teeth man Ray Navarez Jr.
All right.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
I know. I'm familiar with him from Rooster Teeth. I don't know he's still around.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen gameplay of Peak. I know obviously the relationship there with Aggro Crab and the massive success this has been for their small team. Sold a shit ton of copies in incredibly high Peak concurrent players. What was it, Tucker? With 300,000 or something stupid like
Something
that.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Something nuts. But I don't know if Peak has a goal. I don't know if there's stages. I don't know what you do. I don't know if it looks like Donkey Kong Jungle Climber or it's like a 3D platformer. I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Tucker,
There are currently 60,000 people
Jesus
playing Peak.
Christ.
And the all-time peak was 114,000 people.
Tucker, you've played it, right?
I
You've
have,
not
yeah.
played it, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it is $5 on Steam.
Oh, sure.
And it's a first-person game,
Yep.
and you have to climb up a mountain, and it's up to 4 concurrent players. And basically, you're just managing your stamina to try to get all the way up to the top of the mountain. I think it's broken into 4 different stages. The beach level, the jungle level, where there's a lot of like poisonous plants. You can accidentally eat like a fruit and it'll poison you, or like there's little mushrooms you can step on, like puff into a cloud of smoke or something like that. A lot of thorns in that area. There's a cold area where the wind will start to like push you, and then there's a lava area, which is the last one where there's fucking lava everywhere.
Sure.
And the fun thing about it that I think is cool is, yes, proximity chat. So if someone falls, you hear like, "Wow!"
Yeah.
But also, if you successfully climb up somewhere, you can stick out your hand, and if someone's running out of stamina, they can grab onto your hand and pull themselves up.
Nice. Okay.
And it's got this animation of them like clasping their hands together. It's kind of fun. I think it's an excellent game.
Sure.
Had a lot of fun with that, and I do think it's interesting that game that, again, as Abe was mentioning, made by a team of I think 6 or 7 people over the course of just a few months, like 4 months, is one of the biggest games of the year, conversation wise, content wise. Something that was a total shock. And I do think that that's another thing that is a pretty consistent through line of this year is the biggest games conversationally are not the biggest games budget wise.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's another big one here dominating the conversation. Tucker, would you say that there is one game from this year that has the most critical acclaim and the most discourse around it?
Yeah, easily.
What would you say that game is?
Critical acclaim and discourse.
Yeah. And I would argue, for context, that it's not even close.
Yeah, maybe. But this, Tanner, specifically what Abram is referencing, is within the hardcore circles. So now we're challenging you a little bit further.
Okay.
These games that we've talked about up to this point have been the kind that are very streamer focused, very TikTok focused. And the game we're talking about now is not.
Death Stranding 2?
I would say that's not the one we're talking about, but it's you're on the right track.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason I'm curious for your thoughts on this one is because this is a game that is touted by the people who have played it as not only like a benchmark game for the year, but a important piece of video game storytelling and a challenge to the other much bigger players in its genre who have been faltering. There's a perception that this game is massive. In reality, it sold about 3 or 4 million units, which is a lot, but it is not the stratospheric game people think it is. So I'm curious if it's even outside of the RPG circles. Let me give you a little hint there.
Is it this game called Clair Obscur?
Yes.
Okay.
Congratulations. Yes,
Okay.
that is it.
Now,
all right. Now let's dig into that before we say anything else.
I have no idea what this game is.
Okay.
I have seen it on the PlayStation Home, basically. Yeah. Is it Clair Obscur Expedition 33?
Yes.
Great. Perfect.
Okay. Again, no idea.
For a bunk-ass name?
Yeah.
You got exactly.
No idea what kind of game it is. Have only heard of it, seeing like the key art, which seems just vaguely fantasy-like. It's sort of like gold lettering, small, sort of fog in the distance, promising some grand adventure. Yeah. And then like knowing that it's critically acclaimed, hearing maybe you guys talk about it in passing on Discord or whatever. Maybe seeing. I always like to keep track of whenever there's a game of the year talk and predictions and stuff like that happening from you guys on Twitter. I like to keep track of that. Yeah. I've seen it on those lists. I have no idea what the game is, who made it, what goes on in it, anything like that.
Yeah. So I love this game. I really
you just played through it 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Clair Obscur is, and don't hold this against it.
Okay.
It's a French game.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, no.
Now you just ruined it.
You could have saved that to the last moment.
You gotta ease me into that more, Abram. Come on now.
Clair Obscur is a French game from a new studio called Sandfall Interactive.
Okay.
And the basic pitch for it is that it has a very, very strong and emotionally felt narrative, wherein every year in the universe, this big monolith ticks down one number.
Oh, okay.
And people at the age of the number fade from existence.
Oh,
they get Thanos snapped.
Okay, and so in the universe of the game, every year as this clock has been rolling down, they've been sending expeditions out to try to kill this character who is controlling the monolith.
Okay,
it is a turn-based role-playing game with a shit ton of active combat elements. It's actually quite inspired by like a Devil May Cry in a manner of speaking. Okay. It's also inspired by Mario and Luigi.
Right.
And it has gotten...
Which, by the way, is a video game series and not just a pair of characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. Mario and Luigi is a role-playing game series. We play as Mario and Luigi simultaneously. But this game sort of combines a lot of... JRPG like ideas with a lot of Souls style parrying and map structure, and it's got this action bend to it, and it has this very flashy narrative that also has like Charlie Cox in the voice cast.
Wow, all right.
Andy Serkis in the voice cast.
Okay.
Big names in the voice cast.
All right.
I think it is awesome.
Okay.
It's great.
I think it's awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. And it's, if I had to make a pick, I think it's going to win Game of the Year.
Okay.
I think so as well. Part of the narrative behind it is that Sandfall is a relatively small team. Okay. They've got a core team of like 30 or 40 people. The all-in team size, including contractors, including everybody involved, is about 400 people. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and then Final Fantasy...
here's the question. Does that sound like a lot to you when you say 400 people made a game?
400 people? I mean, yeah, I would assume that's... Yeah, maybe not the biggest, but I would assume that's a sizable team for a company.
How many people do you think it took to make Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the newest, biggest Final Fantasy game?
Well, now knowing that you poisoned the well a little bit,
it still might not help you.
He doesn't have that sort of dev dive kind of je ne sais quoi.
1,000.
3,500.
30. Okay, all right. So wow.
And if I was to go here, I've got Moby Games pulled up, and I pull up Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yep.
Let's see how many people are in the credits of Black Ops 6. I don't even know this myself.
I don't either.
9,212 people?
I mean, if you asked me to guess, I probably would have said like 5,000.
Yeah.
Building off of the number that Abram just said.
Halo Infinite took about a little less than 5,000 people to make Halo Infinite.
Okay.
So the point is,
yeah,
and to what I was saying earlier, this year has been dominated by underground hits, by new teams making games that are really grabbing people's attention, and this team that, as I mentioned, the core team size of like people working in the office is 30 or 40 people, making the game that is the most talked about and is probably going to win Game of the Year over. There's Assassin's Creed game that came out this year. We haven't gotten a Call of Duty or something like that, but even like Monster Hunter or Doom, like these are big
Doom
franchises.
is probably one of the bigger games. I'm waiting for it to like go on sale, but it's like Doom Dark Ages is one that I want to play, especially.
Yeah, I mean, so Claire Obscure is in this interesting situation where there's also, it's kind of caught in this cross current of hate for Final Fantasy, modern Final Fantasy.
Okay.
By
the way, I had no idea. I thought those games were beloved.
They haven't been for a long time.
Okay.
A key difference is that this is a turn-based game. It's a modified turn-based game. And Final Fantasy had modified turn-based for a long time, but it has been just.
I think you're getting too much into the nitty-gritty.
The point is,
modified to turn-based.
This is like, in the eyes of a lot of people who are pushing this discourse. Expedition 33 is like if you made a classic style Final Fantasy in the modern year, in the
modern day and age,
flashy visuals, flashy
combat. It looks very upscale, very epic in a lot of ways.
Deep, mature story, right?
Yes.
So people are running with this idea that 30 people made this game.
Wow.
So this game is enraptured in many discourses. It's enraptured in this sort of misleading discourse that a team of 30 people made this, while it took 3,500 people to make a Final Fantasy game that in the JRPG circles is not very liked.
No. If I may interject, this sort of seems like it can be co-opted by a crowd who might say that teams making video games can be smaller. These layoffs are good and sustainable for the industry.
That's possible. Certainly haven't heard that, but that's very possible.
It's largely used to say, look at this small team that made this amazing game, and those fuck ups at Square Enix with 10 times the head count make this garbage. We want another game like Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
And to a lot of people, that's this. So and this is not only a narrative that's been co-opted by people like that, it's also even been something Jeff Keighley has talked about in a misleading game. He infamously said at the most recent Summer Game Fest he's going to show an indie game made by one person and 9 of his friends.
Okay.
Now, people who can count will say that's 10 people, right? So there's been an emphasis on team size.
Okay.
So Claire Obscure has been sort of weaponized, quote unquote, in that way. To make it seem like this is this amazing game made by basically nobody, and it's so big and it's so good, Square Enix is going to have to take notice. They're going to have to throw out their plan for Final Fantasy 17, and they're going to have to, from the ground up, make something that responds to Claire Obscure.
Okay.
That's not really true.
What do you mean it's not? What do you mean that's not true? That like Square Enix isn't going, like this isn't going to make a drop in the bucket for them?
I don't think that the success of Claire Obscure means what people think it could mean.
Okay.
I think
even if it wins Game of the Year.
Even if it wins Game of the Year.
Okay.
There's something Tucker and I have been talking about recently. Because you can't scale down your team. If you got a 3,500 person team, you can't make 10 games with 300 people each.
Sure.
Because you don't have the right talents, right? You don't have enough creative directors in a 3,500 person team to make these smaller games.
Okay.
We're getting too lost in the weeds here of my own grievances, where people are talking about Claire Obscure.
Sure, yeah. I didn't want to interject, but it's all making sense to me. If that makes you feel better. Broadly,
what I'm curious about is if this game is anywhere online for you. If it shows up in any capacity.
No.
Because partially what I'm curious about is if this were to win Game of the Year, and I think that it very likely will, if that's going to be a clowned on decision, or if that's something that people are going to accept. What do you think of that?
There's a chance that it feels more like a Nomadland win, where it's like this is the like artsy indie things that no one's heard of.
Sure. I can. Okay. First of all, thank you for relating it to something that I'm much more tapped into. But also, Nomadland, I guess, just based off when it won Best Picture a few years ago, was also viewed as like, oh, the weird COVID year or whatever. Well, is this year viewed as a like anomaly in video game year? The industry rather.
What did you say to that, Tucker?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know. It's also not done yet, so I think it's hard to really know.
Sure.
But I do actually think that it brings in another question that I have for you is, what games do you know are releasing for the rest of the year? Off the top of your heads, ones you're excited for, maybe when people are talking about. Are there any games that you're certain have 2025 release dates?
Any games that I'm certain have 2025 release dates? Now you're making me think off the top of my head, and I cannot really do that.
That's the goal.
But what I can tell you is I have a notes app on my phone. I have a note that has everything that I'm sort of vaguely interested in seeing, playing, whatever for the rest of the year. I will see if I have any video games noted down for the rest of the year.
All right.
Excellent.
Because I largely pay attention to like when these things when they get released on Twitter or whatever, when we get a release date confirmed. I don't think I have anything for the month of August. Now, is there anything that you guys would say is releasing in the next calendar month or so that would be that is a notable game release?
In what way? Just in general?
Yeah, is there anything in hardcore people on top of the industry gaming circles that is like in July, rest of July into August, that is like this is something that's anticipated?
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh well, okay. I only know that is coming out because you've been talking to me about it while I've been here.
Wait, we're talking about July or August?
Just until the end of August. Rest of the summer, is there anything?
Rest of the summer, I would say nothing in July.
Okay.
And then I would say the only thing in August is that there's a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out at the end of August.
More Your Speed, I think, is new Mafia game coming out.
Oh, really?
There's a new Mafia game.
Old Country?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about.
And that's like
that is August 8th.
August 8th? Okay. Oh, I didn't have that one, so I was not aware. I was not aware that was coming out. Though I was just scanning, and I did find there's one game that I have for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Ghost of Yote.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. October 2nd, I think, is currently dated for.
Correct. Yes, that is the right time.
All right.
I would say that Ghost of Yote is among the last really consequential releases for the year.
Okay. I in my limited knowledge of the Game Awards, I would say maybe a contender for Game of the Year as well, depending on reception.
Probably.
I would say so.
It'll be nice.
Okay.
I think it's unclear how it'll shake out. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza has a growing chance of that.
We'll see.
A growing chance of that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the delay of GTA 6.
Yes, I mean, it was disheartening for me.
Speak on that.
It was disheartening for me as someone who was planning on dedicating a majority of probably my summer playing GTA 6. I've been staying on top of the trailers. Every so often I will rewatch that trailer just to get myself excited again.
Just to feel something.
For this fucking bitch of a world, And no, like I was plenty of talk online as well about like disappointment in its delay.
Yeah.
And disappointment even when that first trailer came out, like in the release date initially.
Yeah. I mean, there is certainly there was, and I think there still is to some extent, this feeling that with GTA 6 delayed, it's an empty year.
Okay. Yeah.
And for me, that's certainly not true.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's a little skewed too because I don't have an Xbox, so Indiana Jones just came out on PlayStation this year, so that's been my main squeeze so far in terms of gaming appetite.
Did you finish that game?
Not quite. I'm not finished yet. But after that, I'll probably move on to Dark Ages, and then Yote, and then maybe something else.
Yeah. Interestingly, 2 of those 3 being Xbox. I mean, Xbox is releasing a lot of choice things this year.
Good choice.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
Did Oblivion remake clock on your radar?
Yeah. So I had that one wishlisted on PlayStation actually. I probably get around to that. I probably like to play that. I mean, even Elder Scrolls games.
Do you have the PlayStation app on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Can you open it up and go to your wish list and see what you've wished listed?
Oh, sure.
Recently?
From this year, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah, because that might not be something that like might have stuck. Like Oblivion, like you cared enough to wish list.
Yes,
I'm curious what else
because
is
when did that come out? That was like beginning of the year.
April, May.
Yeah, it's right
April
before.
22nd.
Yeah, it was April 22nd because Clair Obscure I'm looking at right now came out on April 24th.
Okay.
And people thought that Oblivion was going to kill Clair Obscure.
No, it didn't.
Okay, games I have wishlisted mostly because I went through and like tried to like, okay, which ones have I heard of through you guys or whatever. Did Split Fiction come out this year?
Yes.
Okay, I have Split Fiction wishlisted. That's one that that's Joseph Fares.
Yeah.
And like It Takes Two, Tucker and I played together. And Anna was like interested in trying one of these like high profile co-op games. Now, I would say it's probably the lowest profile of the games that he's made thus far, in terms of like the amount I've heard about him.
I mean, maybe perceptively, but I think it's the fastest selling.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's the highest reviewed.
What I'm curious about is that fastest selling is not best selling, and I'm curious how Split Fiction is going to continue to perform, because I would actually tend to agree with Tanner that I feel like it's not.
To me, that his three. If I'm overstepping or if I'm factually wrong, I apologize. But it's A Way Out.
Yeah.
It Takes Two. Split Fiction.
Yeah. I mean, A Way Out is certainly the smallest.
Sure.
Because
I guess I
that
also
was his first
familiar with that because it's been out for like close to a decade now at this point.
Yeah, he didn't have the name he had now. But
Sure.
but I think at least in my view, it's sort of like Monster Hunter Wilds, which is also a massive launch that has really lost a lot of momentum. Now, obviously, it's more important for Monster Hunter to keep it up because they're trying to get people to keep playing the game. But I don't even think that a lot of like my peers talking about, here's what defined the year for me. They're not talking about Split Fiction.
Sure. I also have no basis in this. I mean, literally, I only learned what the game was about when Tucker told me during a box office banter video when we were recapping some news headlines, and they're making a film adaptation of this game, and Tucker had to tell me what the concept of the game was.
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, I also am a little concerned, like, if there's a difficulty level increase that, like, my girlfriend who does not play video games at all might not be able to, engage in it the same way that she might with something more approachable like It Takes Two.
Yeah. I would just say play It Takes Two.
Okay.
I like Split Fiction a lot. It's one of my favorite games of the year. But in terms of difficulty, I would just replay It Takes Two.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for the pointer. I also have some things on here. I have Elder Scrolls. I have Oblivion remastered on here. Yeah. I also I have Doom Dark Ages. I have some things on here that I'd like to try out to sort of like expand gaming horizons a little bit. Sure. I have Snake Eater on here, which is not out yet, right?
True.
Okay. That is the Metal Gear Solid remake I was mentioning.
Okay, yes. And then I have, I just said I was expanding my gaming horizons, but the last one I have on here is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are liking that right now.
So that is my wish list. Those are the ones that I was like, hit a sale hits or whatever, I'll probably pick those up and play them.
Interesting. Almost all of those are Xbox games.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because they bought Activision.
Oh, sure.
Which makes the Tony Hawk games, ostensibly. Mm-hmm. And they bought Bethesda, that makes Doom, ostensibly.
Elder Scrolls.
And Indiana Jones. Uh-huh. So, there's a lot on there. And interestingly, another two big releases of this year being Xbox games that you may have some interest in is Forza Horizon came out. I know you liked Gran Turismo.
I like Gran Turismo a lot, yeah.
And Forza Horizon is... I also know that you like Burnout Paradise a lot.
Yes.
Forza Horizon 5 is ostensibly the new Burnout Paradise.
Oh, interesting.
Big open world racing game. You're like crashing through shit and all that. And also there's a remake of the first Gears of War game that's coming out soon. And I don't know if you were ever a Gears guy when you were a kid.
No, not necessarily. I mean, the aesthetic was just a little not my thing.
Yeah, it seems a little peculiar that you grew up in the Midwest with an Xbox 360 and played Gears.
I know, it's odd. I was just more into like Call of Duty and things like that. You know, I mean, I didn't really play Halo either.
Yeah, well, that's fucked up.
No.
Good.
Well, we get another Call of Duty game this year too.
Yeah, which one is that?
Black Ops 7.
What's the last one you bought?
I mean, Abram, that's a great question. I think we went through this. The last Call of Duty game that I bought was literally Call of Duty Ghosts, which is like more than a decade ago. But you know, I played like Warzone and stuff.
Yeah. We can't play Warzone mobile anymore. They shut that studio down.
Of course, we all know that.
Or no, did they shut it down, or they just let people close the game?
I don't remember.
It's one or the other or both. Anyway, I don't like Microsoft very much.
Mm-hmm. I played Warzone like 3-4 years ago. Yeah.
The only other one that I think is worth bringing up right now is that there is an Elden Ring sequel ostensibly that's come out recently. Has any Elden Ring Night Rain content or knowledge crossed your threshold?
Erd Tree was last year?
That was a DLC. That was a DLC last year.
Oh, and Night Rain is not a DLC?
No.
Oh.
It is a standalone multiplayer game.
Oh, okay. I just assumed it was a similar situation to Erd Tree.
Yeah, no, I think that Night Rain's another one where it's told really fast, but I'm not so sure that Night Rain is hanging on.
Sure.
I certainly don't think that's a game that's going to really stick around too long.
Like that FromSoft stuff is things that I know through you guys and through some friends. Joe, who I'm sure has come up on here or whatever, like huge fans of those series or the studios and the series that they have. Not anything that I've ever invested any real time into, but I know they are acclaimed games that everyone is really passionate about. So again, that's something that I'm like at some point expanding my horizons. Like I got Bloodborne through PlayStation Plus or whatever.
Sure.
And things like that, and like Elden Ring or whatever. I've even done some research into in trying to find out like what's the best one to like onboard myself into that kind of game. Elden Ring.
It's definitely Elden
Ring. Okay, good to know.
That's the first one I played.
Yeah. So, did you have any other games you wanted to bring up?
I think the last thing was just broadly for me. I was curious just to ask you what you think the perception of the Switch 2 itself is.
Oh yeah.
And your personal view of it also.
I mean, I've
not to get too political on it.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll try to keep it toned down. I've heard close to nothing after the pomp and circumstance of its launch. I know that Mario Kart was the big release, and Bonanza is coming out soon. I don't know what's on the horizon for that. Notable titles coming out either. And I feel that conversation has died down surrounding it. My coworkers have mentioned interest in getting one. I don't think they have purchased one yet, but probably around the holiday season, I assume, is when that stuff would be happening. I don't envision myself purchasing one personally, but I mean, conversationally, like I guess it probably sold really well and everything, but culturally, I don't know how much impact it's made as. Certainly in comparison to like the Switch launch in 2017. Yeah,
I mean it's a multifaceted thing that risks me entering another clear obscure patch of weeds. So I'll just say this. I think that's very interesting.
Okay,
because I would say that broadly speaking, Nintendo has not done a great job at keeping the conversation around the system invigorating.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, my main thing is that like when I think Nintendo Switch launch in 2017, I think Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think Switch 2 has that sort of gaming, system gaming connotation like cultural dominance that pairing had.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
I think it's definitely true. Yeah.
Yeah,
lots to consider. I mean, you're wrong, but I'm here just to gather information. I'm not here to make judgments on the information you have.
Well, no, I actually think that does bring it around to the exact opposite of what you were just saying. Is from everything you've learned today, from what Tanner has shared about these games, about what he knows, what is your reaction to that? I mean,
Am I confirming biases for you guys?
Well, yeah. Like, what has been challenged? What have you learned? How do you feel? Well, if I showed you this ink blot, what would you say it looks like?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of
Does it look like gaming discourse?
It looks like a banana, is what it looks like.
I was joking to Tanner when we were on our way here that I basically wanted to use this video as an opportunity to get somebody who can help present what I think is the obvious case that people who are in the hardcore circles talking about games have no real understanding of the gaming world outside of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm actually basically not surprised by any of this. And I think it largely just confirms my bias, frankly, in this regard. I think what's most interesting is that at a time when so much of the hardcore gaming discourse is involved in a lot of hand-wringing over the future of the gaming industry, the games that are the ones that are actually getting people excited to play are not the tentpoles to begin with. Like thinking about your peak, thinking about your date everything.
Yeah.
These being the breakout hits, I think is very remarkable. Just in the sense that I don't even think that the people who are saying, "Oh, indies are going to save the day," sort of change, be the future of games, even really have context. Those
for me,
are the
indie is saving the day because I love Great Circle.
That's very true.
That's true. And also, he's just he's also just like a great hero.
That's true. He's a great strapping guy.
I mean, Tucker, what do you make of it?
This I want to use as a closing point here, and Abram, if you are interested, a starting point for what I think our next video should be.
Sure.
Is game conversation actually important? Because what I found so interesting about the push and pull, and not necessarily in like an aggressive way, but of the different knowledge bubbles that we have versus what Tanner or Keaton has, is that there's like a push and pull of like, okay, here's the games that we know about and why we think their quality should be talked about and are important. And then there's the ones that people who are not inside of our bubble have knowledge about, and why do they know about those and that kind of thing. And what I find most fascinating is that it conversation is an inherently, and especially in the modern day, super ephemeral thing. We're not going to be watching peak videos or date everything videos in 3 weeks, probably. And those being the games that dominate the current conversation doesn't mean a whole lick of much of anything if it doesn't stick around. Because the current period is so defined by a very quick cycle of consumption, conversation, and then moving on to the next thing. That my pitch for the end of this, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, but then also, Abram, if you're interested in this, for the topic of our next video, presumably getting some community feedback, is that that long-term conversation is something that I think is nearly impossible to have anymore. And that I actually don't think it's a particularly important thing for games in the modern day, because what really is important is how quickly you can, and how deeply you can capture the attention of people, and capture the conversation within a 2-3 week period, rather than for even 2 months or 3 months, because very, very, very few games actually manage to stick around a conversation anymore.
Your thoughts on that?
I can only view this through the vector of the art of cinema, is what I will say. And I think what you just said is broadly true of everything culturally in the social media age.
Yep.
Because I don't know, fucking like if the date everything of the movie world right now is probably like K-pop Demon Hunters. Do either of you know what that movie is?
Definitely do.
Which is a thing that is like super viral friendly right now. You can it has plenty of K-pop song for you to do TikTok dances to. You can do rankings of like the songs and you get engagement in the comments, being like, I can't believe you put this one so low or whatever.
Right.
But like, it's gonna have its moment in the sun, and by nature of it being like a Netflix movie as well, maybe such like the Friends slop of Peak, maybe. That it won't have a cultural tale, but it is certainly being talked about and certainly doing numbers for the Netflix corporation. Even more broadly, like in the movie world, like opening weekend is kind of everything right now. I mean, that is like the vector of box office success. is how quickly and majorly you can capture the attention of people in a span of a few days, in the span of a week or a month or whatever, before you shut it off to VOD. And it's interesting to hear that it is very similar in the video game world as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's quite difficult because I don't think that the numbers necessarily bear out what we're saying when you think about gaming, because and this is something I'd want to just get the actual figures, the actual graphs for. Yeah. But a plurality, a significant amount of time spent gaming is spent on older games in a smaller number of older games. Okay. So I'm talking about
that is definitely true.
GTA 5, I'm talking about Counter-Strike, I'm talking about League of Legends, etc. Games in that sort of tradition dominate. That's what a lot of people play. Yeah. At the same time,
they are part of the canon, as it were.
Yeah. Now. Okay. At the same time, spending on games among people in our age group is drastically down against the spending on other things in life.
Sure. Okay. Interesting.
And so I broadly think that the conversations that Tucker and I have with our peers are in as least insulting as a way that I can say this, completely meaningless. And so
I've always thought that.
Insofar as
every time you open your mouth.
Oh, here comes something meaningless.
Insofar as people, think that the sort of discourse around even the sort of stuff I'm engaging in around Clair Obscur has any relevance to who moves the needle in the world of gaming, which are not the absolute 0.01% of gamers, but indeed the people around whose trends of spending and behavior seem to suggest that they're not even playing things that have that moment in the sun. Yeah. And I suppose you can make that it's analogous, I suppose, to the way that streaming is going to be taking away from box offices, and the way that the movie theater post-COVID can't quite recover. I think that there's a lot of gaming that just happens completely wordlessly. Yeah. And that's where a lot of the money is. Sure. But as it pertains to new games, there's no doubt that virality is a much more important factor than anything else. And I think that the only thing that somewhat surprises me is a lack of discussion around Nintendo. And I'm broadly curious to see from a mainstream perspective, from your perspective, how much that changes over the course of the rest of the year, really, as they bring out games I think have more potential for virality, like Donkey Kong Bonanza. We're going to have these crazy physics interactions, and big chain reaction, explosions and destruction, stuff like that.
Like Tears of the Kingdom was a big one that I saw plenty of social media viral moments about with the new mechanics they introduced into that game. Like that broke through to me into what people were able to build and create in that world.
And even talking like my friend, she plays she literally has a PlayStation to play Naughty Dog games, Horizon, and car games. That's what she loves. Sure. She doesn't play anything else. But she texted me.
Forza Horizon's 2 of those.
That's true. She just bought it.
That's a Horizon game and a car game.
Correct. She texted me before I even said anything to her when the new Tomodachi Life got announced. She's like, "Did you? Oh my god, you must be so excited about this!" I'm like, how the fuck did you know? It's because that first game was very viral for a lot of people's For You pages. Gotcha. And so I just think it's interesting that your touchstones, these games you're talking about that are really visible to you, are coming from TikTok. Yeah. Even if they're not strictly games that seem like they are suited to TikTok. There are songs that are written to try to have a 45-second chunk that's good for TikTok dance. Date Everything isn't really that. It's a visual novel. Yeah. It just so happens to have a viral aspect to it. So I think it's very fascinating. I think it's a good fodder for another discussion, Tucker, for sure.
Fodder. Bennett Fodder made that game.
Hello, Mutta. Hello, Fodder.
Hello, my ragtime...
Motherfucker.
Anyway, I think that you guys should do a Date Everything stream before that ship sails.
I mean, that's Tucker. I mean,
oh God and Lord Almighty.
They're my two favorite people.
Aren't they supposed to be No, wait, that's definitely the same person. There's something about a Trinity out there.
It's the
that's
Father,
weird.
the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
And the difference
Holy
is
shit.
The Father is the Father of the Son.
right.
The Son is the Son of the Father. If
Of
we
course.
can, if we
And then how does the Holy Spirit fit into all of that?
Third wheel.
Oh, I see.
The cuck chair.
Yeah.
Spiritual cuck chair.
The Holy Spirit's the opposite of the cuck chair. Holy Spirit's in everybody.
Whoa. Wait, so
Where does the myrrh come in?
No.
What is a franken? They put the frankincense in the front hole or the back hole? What does frankincense look like? Is it like little crusty bits?
Well, one of them is like,
I don't know.
One of them
Miscellaneous
is like,
herbs and spices, like
one of them is like an oil.
like KFC.
Yeah,
That
I think
sounds
the
myrrh's probably.
No, the frankincense I think is because it's incense, right?
Incense is like something you burn though,
It's
not oil.
frankincense. Frankincense.
No, but I feel like frankincense is like 11 herbs and spices.
Frankincense is a hardened gum-like material resin that comes from the trunk of the
That's
willow tree.
That's definitely not an oil or an
Frankincense
herb.
oil seems to kill some types of bacteria and fungi.
Sure. Yeah, everyone's like, oh look, if you melt it, it becomes an oil suddenly.
No, look up.
Okay, if I melt you become an oil. Are you an oil?
No, here, like this.
MYRRH. What did you spell? How did you spell it?
Shut it.
Oh, he's gonna reveal it. MURR.
That's a myrrh, dude.
That's myrrh, dude.
Myrrh is a fragrant, bitter-tasting yellowish to reddish-brown gum resin obtained from...
Oh, they're both fucking resins. Jesus, fuck.
Dude, in the year fucking 0, they went crazy
trees
for
of the
resins.
genus Commiphora.
These thorny shrubs or small trees, primarily found in Africa and Arabia, are harvested by making incisions into the bark, allowing the sap to exude and harden into tears. So it's a resin. Frankincense and myrrh are both resins.
That sucks. What was like? Do they have different medicinal properties or like?
Well, in ancient Egypt, it was used in embalming.
If a shepherd brought me myrrh, I'd punch him in the throat.
Well, thankfully they weren't shepherds; they were wise men. One of the three gifts brought to the infant Jesus by the Magi, symbolizing death and burial. Jesus, fuck! Come on, man. I gotta lighten up the mood a little bit. It's Christmas.
They thought it was a stillbirth.
Oh no.
God, how would that have changed things? You know.
If I was like a doctor in a delivery room, if a kid was like sleeping nice and peacefully after they were born, I'd go out and tell the family of the room that there was a stillbirth. Kids lying nice and still.
Well, that is actually not a good sign though.
What?
If your baby isn't born and immediately quiet,
oh yeah, no, they're
sleeping peacefully.
They just got born.
You're supposed to cry immediately.
Yeah,
that's a sign of like
you're supposed to slap,
them experiencing senses
for
the first time.
Slap its ass or whatever.
You like dang, like
yeah,
and you like watch it go split.
He's supposed to use it,
and then twist it
like a yo-yo.
Uh-huh. Make sure it's reactive.
Walking the dog with the umbilical cord.
Dude.
Yeah. You do the fucking Doctor Strange shit with it. Yeah. Fucking crimson bands of Cytarac.
Ultimately, I think no one should be asleep in the delivery room. Everyone should be alive, going, reacting to shit. You know, I think that's the ideal scenario.
Tanner would get so mad if someone died while they were giving birth.
Yeah,
he's like, "You're supposed to be alive for this shit."
Hey, you know what, Tucker? I would be upset. Be quite upset.
No, but back to the original question.
Yeah.
If Jesus was stillborn, do you think they would have just found another baby like the next night?
Who's they?
Like I don't know.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph?
I don't know. Anyone involved? Like they're like, oh shit! Like there's a lot riding on this, man.
Yeah,
like,
but isn't the premise that
we gotta have a baby? And like, are people really gonna be able to tell?
They'd have to wait for their immaculate conception.
They have to wait. God just zaps another baby into some lady.
Yeah, it's real quick. It's quick. It's immediate. But also, like, think about it. Like, it's like a hitman mission, you know? Mm-hmm. Baby is dead. Go sneak up behind someone, bonk him in the head with like a rod of sorts, and just take the baby and just put it in the manger.
Yeah, you'd have to get another baby. You just have to wipe all the putts off of them from when they get born.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could do it.
That's true. Yeah, that's pretty easy though. You think there's ever gonna be a mini game where you do that with like the DualSense touchpad?
Oh Jesus!
We have to wipe amniotic fluid off a baby.
I think
it's like a WarioWare game.
No, you can do that with the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con mouse mode.
Exactly. That's
You have to squeegee the amniotic fluid.
That's car mouth. That's what the power is called.
That's true. There's a vending mouth.
I love getting a little car mouth.
Isn't that what caused the apocalypse in Army of the Dead?
Oh yeah, holy shit, I forgot about that.
Little car mouth.
Car mouth.
Oh.
Alright, we feel warm.